So the headlights on my '08 Saturn Astra were pretty oxidized. They had taken some Oklahoma sun for many years, and so they'd oxidized quite a bit. Very foggy. Now we've moved to a place where there are a lot of pedestrians out. We're actually now in that time of year as well, where it's darker, a little bit longer than it is light. So I need to make sure that my headlights are actually shining bright as they should be, so that I can see everything and not accidentally bump into somebody or something along the way. So what I did is I found a way to remove the oxidation, a DIY way, and it involves a little sandpaper. It involves some tape and some plastic and some clear coat, UV protectant clear coat. This is based on a video that I saw by Chris Fix on his YouTube channel, and I also watched one or two others that did similar types of things. And so what you get in it is kind of my amalgamation of basically what I did. So I didn't record every single minute or every single moment of the job, but why don't you come and take a look and see what I've done and see how it turned out. Alright, so I've done one headlight on the front of this car, and probably you realize or know that it's the passenger side. So let's do a little close-up look at it. I don't think it's great. It's better, but it's not great. It's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but you can still see a little bit of an issue here. Probably needed to sand a lot more on it. And also, if you get really close, let's see if I can do this. You can see there's some orange peel on it, but notice the little spider cracks in there. That's just from my headlights being old, I think, and having some pretty severe UV damage. Now, by comparison, here's the driver's side I have not done yet. So, clearly, you can see this is quite oxidized and quite bad. So, if you compare, it's a lot better. So my next go with this on the driver's side, I'm going to be more patient with the sanding. Every project I've ever done, whether woodworking or not, that involves sanding, I've always never sanded enough. So I'm going to do that a little bit more on this. I'm going to start with a little bit more of a cutting grit, probably a 400, and then work my way up to probably 2,000 or 2,500 by the end of that. So I'm going to see if I can get this one sanded off a lot better, and maybe even get it to turn out a little better than the passenger side one did. I might give that one one more sand with a really fine grit, like a 2,500, 3,000, and then buff it and see if I can get some of that orange peel to go away, and maybe even some of those little cracks to, I don't know, we'll see. I'll keep you posted. Alright, so here is the driver's side headlight after sanding with 400 grit. You can see it's foggy, cloudy, and that's because it's got all these scratches in it from the sandpaper, right? So now I'll come up to the next probably 600 grit, do that for about 20 minutes or half an hour, and then just keep working my way up to finer and finer sandpaper. So here it is after 600 grit. So I've done 400 and I've done 600 grit. Still kind of cloudy, milky looking, which is normal. Again, still got scratches in it. I'm about to hit it with a 1000 grit, so getting much finer, and then I'll eventually hit it with a 2000 or 2500 grit on it as well, before I clean it all up, retape around here, put my plastic on, and spray it down with some clear coat. This one is looking a little bit better than the other one did in terms of getting the oxidation off. So I think just spending more time on the sanding is helping a lot. Alright, so here I am after 2000 grit. But let me show you what happens when I clean this with some isopropyl alcohol. Now, of course, once this dries or evaporates, it's going to be foggy again, but at least it gives you an idea of how much better that is. I'll try to put a comparison video or a picture in here of what it was before Apologize for the airplane flying over, but so it's a lot better. And again, as it evaporates, it's going to fog a little bit because there's still scratches in it, but that's what I need to fill in now with clear coat. Okay, well, I got them all done, and I'm just going to show you this the best I can. Here's the passenger side. Now you'll note that it's still a little foggy. I think probably I should have sanded more on that. Spent some more time doing some work on that. I get impatient when I'm sanding because I hate it. That said, it's still way better than it was when I started. Then there's the right one. I did spend a lot more time sanding, and it turned out, and I'll show you before and after shot of this thing. This is 125% better than it was, if there can be such a thing as 125%. Of course, the problem is, it looks like my car has two different eye colors. So, there's that. Anyways, it's done, and headlights are brighter, and now I hopefully won't run over anything when it's dark. So, there you have it, people. In my opinion, it's a mixed bag. I think that if you really want this particular method to work well for you, you have to be patient. And when it comes to sanding, I'm not super patient. You can see in the results that the passenger side headlight just didn't turn out quite as well as I wanted it to. I do think that I can come back across it with some 2000, 2500 grit sandpaper and buff it and shine it up. I think that will help. But the right headlight, where I did spend a lot more time, and one other thing that I would mention too is that I protected it a little bit better from the wind. I think I probably there was a little bit of a breeze when I was painting those. And so I think I probably got a little better coverage, a little more even coverage on it as well. So you can still see the kind of spider cracks down in there, but the lens itself, the plastic lens itself, was much clearer on the driver's side, and the light is much brighter now. So again, I'd say that probably it was I could say 50% success, because one light was clearly a success, the other one was not as clear. No pun intended. That said, though, the passenger side light, which is the right side, actually is way better than it was when I started. So we'll give it a 75%, I guess, success rate. So, anyways, it is worth doing. It saved me a ton of money, and the lights are brighter, and they do function more as they should. So I'm happy with it, and we're going to go with it. So there you have it.